Ladies and gentlemen, this week we have got 4 events. 4 events, that's 4 events. Mike, about that many, yeah? 4 events?
Close enough.
Close enough. Yep, 4 events. So check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Like I was saying, we've got 4 events on this week to talk about. I just want to jump straight into it. There's no point in being around the bushes there, Mike. We've got BAMMA, we've got Cage Warriors, we've got Titan FC, we've got UFC. We're going to not go over every card and every fight because it would take too long.
Fights would be over.
We'll be probably here for a whole week.
We'd end up talking about the results.
We would indeed, Mike. So what we're going to do is talk about particular fights on each card. So we're going to just break it down a little bit more, each one, and kind of jump out the ones that are maybe sticking out more than others and that has more interest to us. Let's, Mike, go to BAMMA, who are fighting. We'll start with BAMMA first, and we'll work our way up. And BAMMA isn't on television this weekend, I believe so, which is a silly move on their part. Consider the fight that they've got on. They've got a couple of fighters on there that have got a bit of interest. One fight in particular I want to mention is the return. Well, is going on to try and get a 135 strap against Alan Philpott. Now, Alan Philpott is a legitimate fighter in this kind of BAM division. He's a great talent in the UK. Blackwell has been on the scene for a while. Very, very suave veteran. Very smart fighter, Mike. I look forward to this fight. It's one that I think really people should be paying attention to, especially on the UK scene. It's a fight to look forward to, especially on the 135 division. You've got a couple of great little additions on the BAMMA roster there. That's one to keep an eye out for. Sorry about that, for it's a little bit dry. In the 125 division, though, they've also got a title fight again. I know BAMMA is spoiling people with title fights this weekend. There's actually, if I think about it, this weekend alone, they've got 8 different titles on 4 promotions this weekend. So big moments for all the promotions going on this weekend. You've got, in the co-main event, like I said, the 125 division, you have got Rani Sadi against Andy Young. Andy Young, very, very good fighter, very well, well-versed in the UK scene. I don't think he will be a match for Rani. I think Rani is one of those guys. He is a very top-level fighter. But though, I can't write off Andy Young. He has done exactly what he needs to do to get a title fight. 3-fight win streak. He's fought against some top guys in the UK. He's beat them. What else can you do? You get a title shot. He's done what he needs to. The fight to look out for, though, I think, the one that is more appealing to me than any other fight, is John Phillips against Andy Devent. Now, Andy Devent's turned things around in his career of late. He had a great run. But John Phillips is a guy from Wales, trained at SBG, massive talent, knockout power, and he is one to. There's a lot of hype behind him, rightly so. I think he is one of the guys who could push his way into the UFC because he has that SBG backing, and that is a big factor. It's a huge factor in the game. So that's the BAMMA card this weekend. It's certainly one to keep an eye out for with some of the matchups that they have. There's some good fights on. I'd like to go forward to the Cage Warriors event now, Mike. And Cage Warriors have got some good fights on. It's at the Liverpool Echo Arena. And the fights we're gonna start, Mike, with, I think we should definitely give a mention out to, let's go with, what fights do I like particularly? Actually, you know what? Ali Arish is fighting Mohsin Bahari, right? Bahari's back. Bahari is a badass dude, middleweight. Obviously, we know Ali Arish is going to go for that takedown. He has some very good boxing strikes, good combinations, good movements, good jabs when he fought Jack Marshman. Lost that controversial tap. He did tap, but obviously he'll fight tooth and nail to deny it. Anywho, you've got Bahari, who's just such a cracking little fighter, very experienced dude. I look forward to him getting back in the cage. A man who I was surprised coming back this quickly. Tim Wilde is back against a pretty tough opponent, actually. A tough opponent. And Mikel Lebut, however you want to pronounce it, really. Tim Wilde, obviously, is a very, very good fighter. I like Tim Wilde. Mike, you like Tim Wilde. We like the way Tim Wilde fights. Very good dude.
Yeah, he's never in a bad fight, is he? So
he went on a good win streak, Mike, and then he lost to Scott Cleese. And I was surprised he's back this soon. He probably feels aggrieved, wants to get this addressed, wants to come back and get it sorted. Now he's fighting a guy who actually competed in the UFC, and obviously his contract, got a pink slip, so to speak. And now Mikel Lebut, he wasn't a bad 155er. It's a big fight for Tim Wilde. If he gets a win here, it really actually it helps put him back on track to that, that title shot potential and getting back in title contention after that Scott Cleese lost. It's a crazy win, really. This is quite a big fight for Tim. I think if he loses this fight, it really steps him down again. But again, I need to stop saying that word. So look, Tim Wilde's fighting against Lebut. The co-main event is a fight well worth keeping an eye on. Can Mr. Chris Fishgold finish this fight in under 2 minutes? Because he's had a very big habit of finishing under 2 minutes of late, and that's in fighting. We had him on a podcast. I had him on interviewing this week, talking about his fight, talking about everything going around him in general. Great guy, top bloke, defending the 155 belt at home in front of his home crowd. I think it's huge, to do that. On UFC Fight Pass, if he gets that title defense in, it could help put him on that path towards the UFC Belfast. He's fighting, Jason Poney. This French cat is very good at outpointing you. He likes to go back. He likes to run back. And I'm not saying he doesn't fight. He very much picks you off. He'll pitter-patter and then back off. Great cardio. He's definitely worked on his takedown defense from earlier on in his career. That's one of the things I think was a sticking point because he was not the strongest grappler on the ground. Could hold his own enough, but when he got someone who was a bit of a higher elite grappling, he would crumble. Chris Fishgold is a very, very elite grappler. This is a big, big, big test for Poney. I think Fishgold, if he can go in there, do what I know he has the capability to do, it should be a short fight. But the main event is a huge fight, really. Again, it's another title fight, and you can't go wrong there. The 145 strap. The big question is, here we go. Franquet, I'm going to say Johnny Franquet, another Frenchman, taking on Paddy Pimblett. Now, Paddy Pimblett last time missed weight, and this time it is a huge deal for him to make weight. He needs to make that 145 class. If he wants to get into the UFC, one thing they can't abide is guys missing weight outside of there. Because if you're not reliable outside, you can't be reliable in promotion. That's something they won't handle. So it's a big thing for Paddy Pimblett.
Totally. I mean, especially on the regional scene, and also it is an international card as Cage Warriors. They don't like it because without a title fight, it doesn't have that same punch to it. And if you can't make weight, then it ain't a title fight in theory.
No,
so,
it's not. It's not.
So he needs to get on top of that because one, it will hurt his own career, and two, it'll hurt the career he's actually having at the moment because they won't risk putting him in a title fight if he can't make the weight because it hurts the promotion as well.
Yeah. I agree. And there are some fights.
On the UK scene, you need to be in title fights because it brings in more money and interest.
You have got Titan FC this weekend as well. I always have good words about Titan FC. I do enjoy watching the cards. I enjoy just what they do there. This card has been hit with a handful of incidences, like, for example, the Andrew Whitney outburst, which caused a bit of controversy, then basically kind of thrown that bantamweight tournament into chaos. Such a shame what happened there. But they've tried to rectify things. As always, there seems to be last-minute changes, people drop out, etc. But there's a handful of fights that are worth keeping an eye out for. I'm going to quickly mention Steve Carl is coming back. Now, he last fought, his debut on Titan FC was Belal Muhammad. And Belal Muhammad went in there and showed a hell of a performance and absolutely carved up Steve Carl, got the win, that got him signed to the UFC, right? That's what got him to the UFC. Great win. Absolutely made it fun. And you know what? I think Steve Carl really underestimated Belal Muhammad. And look, Steve Carl probably is going to come back with a vengeance in this fight against Jason Jackson. Huge opportunity for, again, Jason Jackson to get a win against a guy like Steve Carl. Steve Carl's still a name to get a win over. That is certainly one to keep an eye out for. I want to see how Steve Carl comes back and how he performs, because there was a bit of pressure on his shoulders. And I think this is a huge one for him, a huge one for him to perform in. Let's go back onto the card again. Do you know what? I'm going to mention. Do you know what? I'm going to mention this one, which is well worth having a look at. There's external factors which play a big part in this. Andre Harrison against Alexandra Bizarra, or Popo, how he likes to be called. Now, we had Alexandre on the podcast, spoke to him, lovely gentleman. He was great to speak to. But Andre Harrison is a guy who's unbeaten. He has won against some of the top names outside of the UFC in the 145 division. But that man just can't finish a fight. And it doesn't matter what he does. He is not doing enough to get in the UFC. He wants to be in the UFC, and I totally understand that. But this guy needs to start finishing a fight. And he's fighting a guy who is possibly actually a really awkward test for him, because Andre Harrison likes to use his wrestling if he can to get in there to get the fights down. Now, Andre Harrison's last fight, ladies and gentlemen, it was a stoppage, but it was because the other opponent broke his leg with a leg kick. He threw a leg kick, and it's like an Anderson Silva swipe, and you go, well, yeah, he checked it. Does that really count? I don't even know if Andre Harrison checked that one, actually. I don't even think he did. I think your man just kicked him, and when he stepped back on it, it went. Like, I think even Andre Harrison won't even sit there and say that was a great stoppage. It was just what it was. Go on, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say that is the one missing thing from his bag of tricks, is that being able to finish a fight. Because
it's an
UFC, MMA is a sport, but you've got to remember that the UFC is big bucks. That's where there's a ton of money that goes on for the UFC.
When you go into the UFC, they want guys who are coming in and finishing fights, because.
I was going to say it's the entertainment business as well, more so. Yeah. Because
when you start UFC, when you promote you, they go, making his debut is Andre Harrison. He has He has one finish, but they're not going to say why. One finish out of 13, it doesn't sound as good as 10 finishes.
So basically, I mean, I would actually happily say there's fighters signed to the UFC, getting regular fights, or, they're not on the back burner, that are less successful, but because they finish fights, they're in there and, they're on the bigger bucks.
Yeah, Andre Harrison would probably.
Now Andre would probably go in there and be very successful as far as getting the win, but that's not enough at the very top level. They want to go in there and they want the gladiatorial battle. They want.
They just want you to finish a fight. That's what they want.
They want judges redundant, basically.
I think as well for him, he's got a guy against in Popo who's. The dude has got some very good strong ground game. Like, he's very good takedown offense as well as defense. So he can certainly mix it up against Andre Harrison. Also, he's got really good combinations he throws out there. So I think he's in for a tough fight as Andre Harrison. I think this is someone who probably could, I hope, push Andre Harrison, maybe bring the best out of him. maybe certain matchups certain styles just didn't bring the best out of Andre. Who knows? Look, I'm not saying Popo can't win. He certainly can. Legit guy. Been on Bellator FC. He's fought on there. He's fought on he's fought on a big stage, let's say, before. He knows what he's doing. The main event, they've got the ladies in. They had the ladies before. They've got a title now up for grabs. It's a fantastic matchup, I have to say. And because of not just who they are, but the whole scenario. Okay, Karina Dam against Kalindra Ferreira. Ferreira. Okay, Dam and Ferreira, loving it, okay, because these girls have a long, outstanding battle. These girls are 1-1 in their little ongoing conflict with each other, all right? That's what adds a spice to this. Your trilogy, okay? Everyone loves the trilogy. Now, this trilogy isn't within Titan FC. It stems back years. But the thing is, it gets to finish here. It gets a bit of interest. It gets a bit of spice. These two girls as well will probably bring a bit more than they would do normally because of who they're fighting and what they're fighting for. Because you've got to think, if one of these girls win this title, you're probably not far off a shout up to the UFC. Bantamweight division isn't the deepest division in the UFC, 135 class. It's a very smart move from Titan FC because what will happen is, we've got girls going to the UFC. You'll get more girls into your promotion that way. So, yeah, I like the matchup. I like the idea, what could happen. The two girls are ridiculously experienced. I wouldn't even sit there and go, oh, they're great at one area. They're so now well-rounded. They've been around for that long. Like, Karina Dam's last fight in Titan FC was a bloodbath. It was a great fight. I don't know who I picked, to be fair. I can't really pick on that one. I'll probably go Karina Dam, and just because of the pure violence that she showed in that last fight. It was insane. It was intense. It was intense, Mike. Look, let's go to the UFC card, Mike, because you'll know a bit more on the fighters on the UFC card. This will help you out a bit more, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Well, you've got everything from title fights to the longest undefeated record in UFC history.
Are you talking about Mr. CM Punk, Mike?
Exactly.
Has he got the longest undefeated record?
One of them.
He's got one of them. So one of the longest.
He hasn't dropped a round or a fight in, what's it, 3 years now, is it?
2.
2 years. Yeah. Right, I'm getting slightly ahead of myself.
Okay, so I've got to give a shout out to our boy, Uncle Creepy. He's fighting Ray Borg. Uncle Creepy was actually meant to fight in the last card against Scoggins, but Scoggins couldn't make weight. He's actually went up to bantamweight now. The fight was pulled out from UFC 202, and Mr. McCall said, look, get me on a card. Oh, 201 was it maybe? I'm not sure, but he said, get me on the next available card. They gave him Ray Borg, and he's on this card. I was trying to coax him into coming to the UFC 204 card, but it doesn't matter. And look, he's fighting Ray Borg. I think Ian McCall, if that fire is there, that hunger and that desire for that title is still there, he should go and beat Ray Borg. He should beat Ray Borg because Ray Borg is a very good fighter, but he is still not the fighter that Ian McCall should and can be. I definitely want to give a shout out to Ian there. He's a top banana. Love that boy. Mike, let's go with a fight that I like the look of. And I'll tell you what, the reason why. And also the reason I think the fight is on is only because the girl is from a Cleveland own. You've got Betch Correa against Jessica Ai. Jessica Ai's on this card. I think Jessica Ai's in the UFC because it's at Cleveland. You know, you've got a local girl. She's headlining the prelim card. What's your thoughts on this card? This fight, sorry, not the card.
Yeah, it's Betty Carrera. It's like, I think she sort of talked up her fight game a lot more than her fight game did, if that makes sense.
It's Betch, Mike. It's Betch Correa.
Yeah, well, we'll drop an E anyway. But yes, it's, you know, she's been proved wanting in the last couple, and I just feel that Jessica Ai, I think, you know, if she sticks to whatever game plan she's got, hopefully she has one, then she should come through this, and I think she'll have too much for Carrera.
You reckon it? You reckon I can win? Okay.
I do. I honestly do.
I think with Jessica Eye, she lost 3 in a row. You know, and that's why I said the only reason she's on a Cleveland card, Mike, is because she's from Cleveland. That's why, Mike.
She's my wild card in this fight.
Betch Carrera, though,
She's my wild.
Betch Carrera lost to Ronda Rousey. Then she lost to Raquel Pennington, a split decision, I think it was, off the top of my head. Now, she has done a lot of work with AKA. Betch just went off and trained and been training with them boys there. I would probably favour Betch. I just think that maybe that place has got some legit guys there, coaches, team guys.
Totally.
I think you might see a great, a better performing Betch Carrera. I think also the thing with Jessica Eye, the whole being in Cleveland, it might get a bit on her.
It can go one. Yes, fighting in your hometown can do one of 2 things. It can either drag you down or it can lift you up and carry you.
Well, the issue you've got is with Jessica Eye is it's not that long since she last fought, and his skill set ain't going to be that much better. Betch has had a bit of time, even from the Ronda Rousey fight, to evolve herself, grow herself, and develop herself. That's my worry. I think I'm not going to see a different Jessica Eye than I did in the last one with Betch Carrera. I could definitely probably see a better Betch this time around. Let's go to the main card. This fight is probably up there with my top 3 favourite fights of the year that have been made. In fact, I think the only way you can top it is by making one other fight. You have Jessica Andrade against Joanne Calderwood. Oh my good lordy mogly, good googly, flugly, bloody ruddy. This is an amazing fight to make. Oh, okay. So, Jessica Andrade, okay, 135er, was too small, went down to 155. Absolute monster. Joanne Calderwood went up to 125, had a little play there, back down to 115, sorry. And she tried to get the title fight after a win at 125. And rightly so, she should have had to fight at 155 to get that shot, if she wants to get a shot. And I think the winner of this fight will probably get the winner of Joanna Jacek and Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I think that will definitely be the winner of this is probably going to get that stab. I've got a little sneaky feeling that Joanne Calderwood's in for a fucking storm in Jessica Andrade because that girl is fast, hits hard, and she is legit on the ground. I think she found a weight class. I think Jessica's a badass girl to go up against. I'm not saying Joanne Calderwood can't win, but I'm probably going to pick Jessica, even though I hate to say it.
Right. Okay, folks, I know you're probably thinking 155. What's he on about?
115. I did
115. So don't worry. Yeah.
I did correct myself.
Slightly.
115.
You said it again afterwards as well, but don't worry.
Matter.
Potential fight of the night. This one. It's a fantastic match, but I have. Okay, am I being sort of favoritism sort of over Joanne Calderwood? Possibly, but I love that last fight. You know, she seems to have everything going right for her at the moment, and I just hope that it wasn't the extra weight and that it is just her whole ready for the fight. But it's a big ask for both girls in this one. But Jessica, she looks like she's at the right weight now. It's, a bantamweight, she was definitely just in the wrong weight category. But she did well, she did all right, all things considered.
That girl held her own in the 135 division.
Yeah,
she was hitting hard at 135. And you know what? She's brought that down at 115, and that's what makes that girl a scary motherfucker. She has to hit you once, and suddenly the world is going upside down.
Yeah. Your plans for that fight all of a sudden start changing, But with Joanna, she's I believe that she's been in tough fights before, and I hope that
I agree. Being that she's at TriStar, things are going well for her. She's in a better place mentally. I just think that storm that Jessica Andrade can do, it's like I think that's a scary storm to go into. I think
And
The
it
only
does hang around as well. It's not just
Yeah.
a round. You know, these girls have got energy for days. So,
And the thing is, Joanne Calderwood, does she have that one punch KO power? Not as much. I think Jessica has more of a 1K like that. Jessica definitely has the more power. Yeah.
what I do think is, I believe Joanna does have a higher weapon repertoire. You know, she like when
She's
she
got the
starts
kicks.
bringing
That's
in,
what she has to use. Yeah. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just...
When things start flowing, it's like watching poetry. Like, you know, just the way she does it. It's just
Okay,
yeah.
let's go off the card then, Mike. Let's quickly go on to... Well, we'll go over it because it's happening. Mickey Gall against, well, CM Punk, as they want to call him. I think his name's like Chris something. I can't remember. Anyway, or it might not be Chris, but he's got...
It's Phil Brooks. Phil Brooks.
Phil Brooks, there you go. No, it's not Phil Brooks. Phil Brooks is a fighter in the UFC. Oh, Will Brooks. No, Phil Brooks, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you got CM Punk, Phil Brooks, whatever you want to call that. Maybe. Yeah. Mickey Gall. I don't know, Mike Hadler. I don't know. I honestly think that Mickey Gall is going to go in there and absolutely go through him in the first round, because watching that kid, he's got experience in amateur. He's had a couple of pro fights, but at the same time, he has been in the game a lot longer. He's not that actually bad at striking, but his grappling, he's actually really good.
I was going to say, he's a finisher. You know, he goes in there. He's not looking to stick away points. He's looking there to go in to finish you from the very off, and he does that.
I think they'll probably...
But we just don't have any clue what Phil Brooks is going to bring. You know, we've got a rough idea what Mickey Gall is going to bring, but Phil Brooks, we don't know. You know, it's.
Well, if you've watched the documentary, folks, of there's I can't remember what it's called. They're following Phil Brooks around and been filming him and his training camps. He show you his training sessions where he has they did mock MMA matches where they got the pro guys to have an actual fight with CM Punk with 7-ounce gloves and stuff like that. They have put him through the ringer. But at the same time, I just don't think it's going to be good enough. It's not going to be enough. And that's all I want to say on that, is that Mickey Gall will probably win first round. And I will probably easily put a lot of money on that. Co-main event, I'm not too keen on this co-main event, if I'm honest. Travis Brown against Fabrizio Verdum, the rematch. I'm a bit surprised that both of them are fighting so soon after the pair of them basically got stopped in both their last fights. And I know Travis Brown was the only one who put his hand up to fight Fabrizio, but after your last fight with Fabrizio, do you really want to do that again? He had success at the start of the fight, I suppose, but I'm going to go with Fabrizio Verdum in this one, even though I think the pair of them will come back too soon. I probably still favour Fabrizio.
I was going to say, I think what does help is Travis Brown. It's a 3-round fight this time rather than a 5-round. And
right, yeah.
But you do kind of think to yourself, well, get 2 rounds and hope you survive the last. You know, I think it does help him because, you know, when you've got an elite grappler, obviously time helps. You know, you've got more time to set things up, etc. But Verdum's striking's look good as well, and I don't feel that Travis Brown, since he's moved camps, that he's improved. I don't feel he's improved at all. You know, I don't look at him and go, you see fighters that move, and you can see the improvement. You can say, oh, right, okay, yeah, he's doing that different. His ground game's better, or his striking's better. I haven't seen Travis Brown move and gone, yeah, okay, I can see where that benefit is. Other than he gets to lay next to Ronda Rousey over night time.
Yeah, and he brings in Anthony Hamilton to help him with his training camps, and I think that's not going to help you that much. The other issue I have with Travis Brown is that, like I said, he got finished by Cain Velasquez at UFC 200. Now, he got stopped. He's coming back, and Fabrizio also got starched by Stipe Miocic, but that was at UFC 198. So there is a longer period of time for Fabrizio to recover than Travis, but at the same time, I just don't I'm just stuck with Travis Brown at the moment. I was really up on this guy, really up on him. And I just can't get behind him now. He's at Glendale. I just haven't been that big on him since he's been there. I just feel sad because that dude can be a lot better than he is. I think if he was training at King's MMA with Rafael Cordero there, he'd probably be a way better fighter than he is now. Way better. Training with Fabrizio would have helped as well. But I wish he'd moved to somewhere else. I just need him and Ronda to break up. Main event.
Or maybe they should start seeing other people.
Main event, Mike, you got Stipe Miocic against Alistair Overeem. Alistair Overeem gets his heavyweight title shot. The natural boy, Alistair Overeem, against Stipe, the fireman. I am a bit torn on this one, Mike.
Yeah, totally.
I am. This is flipping a coin for me. I'm so stuck. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I love this latest version of Alistair Overeem. He's a very much a thinking fighter now, rather than an instinctive fighter. He sets things up and plans things out a lot more.
I think that's why part of me slightly favors Overeem, only because of that. He's more patient, and he is an elite striker, ladies and gentlemen. Like elite, like K1 beat the shit out of you with ease with kickboxing. K1 monster beat the snot out of Tyrone Spong, beat the snot out of all the top guys. Now, with his patience, that is a deadly weapon, because he will see gaps and see opportunities that you won't know are there, that he sees if you're his opponent. And I think for Stipe, he needs to keep moving, be active, get that cardio that he's got. He's got a great engine. He can keep pushing. I think he needs to maybe just keep Alistair Overeem thinking, keep him guessing, and definitely push him as much as he can really in this fight. Yeah,
but Alistair can be stopped. We've seen him stopped a bunch of times. So, yes.
He has, but it keeps it interesting. I think he was fighting the wrong fight. He was fighting the wrong fight then.
Yeah, but it's this version, he'll see tells you didn't even know you had. And that's dangerous. Like, it's interesting. It is super interesting because, who do you pick? There's reasons for both guys in this one.
Who'd you pick then?
Okay, if I had to, it would be, I think Overeem gets it done.
Who?
Alistair Overeem.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably pick Alistair as well, just not like marginal. I think accumulation of his experience with the K1 and the MMA knowledge. And he is, ladies and gentlemen, he's a beast on the ground. Like, I can't emphasize enough. Alistair on the ground is legit. He is a legit dude. That guy.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot, but it's there. He has great chokes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That dude, he gets your neck. You're fucked. Like, that dude is a nasty guy on the ground. Like, that's why you don't see him go to the ground, because even guys who fight him know, I'm not going near that, because that dude is bad news. And I think that's something about Alistair Overeem that people probably don't acknowledge enough, because he doesn't need to use it. And unless you look back at the history, you won't know it. And I think that's something that I'm not saying will play a factor, but it's an option there. But you've got to remember, folks, Alistair's got those kicks and those knees that I think will play a factor. 5-round fight, just pick away at that body. Yeah. Pick away at that body.
And with this patience as well, it carries that endurance further as well.
Yeah, well, he has to now.
He's not in there. He's not wasting anything. No. Whereas in some of the days, like the Travis Brown fight, he was throwing everything, and those losses have taught him that you can't do that.
And Jackson and Winklejohn as well. I've told him the patience.
Yeah, just
at your own time. Yeah. Look, those are 4 cards that happened this weekend. There was too much, and there's a lot to talk about. So we just tried to make it as simple as we could, as smooth as we could, and that's all this week, folks. There are interviews that I've done, like I said, a couple of fighters. They're on the Facebook page, sorry, the YouTube channel, the SoundCloud channel, the iTunes channel. We're getting out there, people, so you can tune in, listen, subscribe, enjoy. So thank you for listening this week, and we will be back with you all soon next week.